We go again. Back to it. Got the soldering iron fired up. We're rip arm. We're ready to rock. So back to the Martian build. So right now I'm going to solder on the leads for the radio. Just get a little flux in these holes. Good enough. All right. These are tiny little holes, though. It's gonna be kind of a pain in the ass. Okay. I hate it when it does these little spikes. Work on that. Get you to suck up. There we go. Alright, that sucked it down in. Alright, so there's that. Now we're going to join these wires. So white is going to go to S bus. Red is going to go to 5 volt. Kind of a pain. The angle probably sucks to see, but it's not exactly the best. Alright, well there's that. And black is going to go to ground. Okay, let's take a look at it, see how that came out. Looks pretty good. Let's sort of clean this flux off. Yeah, this came out pretty good. Alright, let's see if it'll show. Come on, fucker, focus. There we go. They're on there. Not the prettiest solder joints, but it'll work in a pinch. Alright, well there's those. So that's going to go there. This is going to go right here, like this. Alright, so now we need to, actually this needs to go this way, like that. Like this and like this. Now where does the main power come in on this board? Where am I supposed to power this board at? I'm guessing one side's power and one side's ground. What size wire am I supposed to run for the power on this? Like this size, probably? Like the AAC size? That's probably good enough. 18 gauge? See, this definitely looks like the ground. The other side looks like the power, so I think what I'm going to do as I build this is I am going to just set it like that. So I'll connect one right here, real short run, just maybe long enough to pick it up like that. And then the ground will come up a little bit more. Maybe something like that. So we're going to have both of these wires only about. So the positive wire too, I'm going to curve this way. The negative wire, I'm going to curve the opposite way, because this one has to come to the top side of the board. Alright, well, let's give that a spin, shall we? So we're going to lube this bad boy up like that, and we're going to give it a good amount of solder to get this pad nice and soldered up. Okay, now let's just get it to take over the whole pad. There we go. That looks good. Oh, let's just get this down. There's a lot of solder on there. There we go. Now we're going to do the same thing to get it to cover the whole pad. Just heat it up and just kind of spread it out and pop out. Here we go. There. So now those two are done. What up, Crypto Fart? Welcome. Anyway, now we're going to set our positive to the inside and our negative on the outside. And you guys are going to be like, well, that's crazy. But the reason being is because the main power in for this board, the ground is on the top right here. And when we flipped it over, the positive is actually on the bottom of the board. So it's going to be a much shorter run for the positive, but I think I'm going to leave it a little bit longer. Maybe something like that, just so that I have a little wiggle room in it. So if I take the board off, I can move it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for this. See, the cool part about building drones is you can kind of build them how you want. Like, there's no one way to do anything. There's 100 ways that you can do it. So if you got an idea and you want to build something a certain way, then build it that way. Like, ain't nobody gonna ridicule you for it unless you build it completely stupid. But it's like, there's no right answer or no wrong answer. As long as it's on the right spot and you do it the right way, shit, nobody cares. Nobody cares what you do. Nobody's gonna look at your drone anyway. They're just gonna watch you fly it. So it's like, whatever. You do you, boo. That's what my thoughts are. As long as the stupid thing works, do it however you want. But I am in firm agreement, man. If you're going to start soldering and get good at soldering and start spending a lot of time soldering, definitely buy a good soldering iron. Because, dude, it saves you so much time in soldering. So, on the side, over here we got, I'm trying out this balance board. It's the first time I've used a balance board. And it's working pretty good. So I'm going to leave a link to that on my page, and I'm actually impressed with it. So I'm charging 3S batteries on it, and so far so good. So now let's join this red wire. Oh, I was looking for it. It's still in the alligator clip. So let's join the red wire here onto the power distribution board. So I'm just going to heat up this little. Actually, I'm going to clean my tip first because I just noticed there's a bunch of schmegma on it. Alright, nice and clean. And I'm going to heat up this pool as soon as it melts. Here we go. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. No, don't do that to me. That did not come out beautiful. I gotta put a little flux on there. Get it to fucking clean up. Just going to tap this again real quick just to try and get this pool to clean up with this wire in it. There we go. All right, that's better. Now, so this is, I intend to curve back in some sort of fashion like this and attach it back to that board on this pad on the bottom where it says the positive. So I'm going to curve this back right here and attach this right here like that. That's what the intention of that is. So first, before I do that, I am going to get the ground to the length I want it, which will be somewhere similar to that one, probably about that long. It doesn't have to be this long, but I just want to make it this long, so if I take the board off, I don't have to desolder it. You gotta love the silicone wire, man, because it just comes off so easy. So easy. Look at that, bam. Give that a little spin. We're going to tin this bad boy up real quick. Maybe slap a little flux on there. Where'd my little paster go? There we go. Throw a little flux on there. And now I am going to just kind of clean these up real quick. Okay, those are both cleaned up now. So that's done, that's done. So now we're going to join, ooh, that's toasty. We're going to join this ground real quick on this pad. Get this out of the way. So I'm going to heat this up. Come on, baby. It's hot. All right. Anyway, let's just do the same thing I did last time. Give it a quick slapping of flux to try and get it to flatten out because it looks like shit. Good enough. Better. Doesn't look beautiful, but it's going to work. Okay. Now, I'm going to join the positive and the negative on the actual flight controller. So let's get a little flux going. I'm probably going to need another piece of solder. Okay, so let's just pre-tin this pad. So from here, I'm just going to join this real quick. Same way, I'm just going to get the pad nice and tin. Okay, got a nice little bubble going. Just going to spread it so it encompasses the whole pad, and then pop out. So that one. We're going to do the same thing for the ground. Heat the pad up. I'm going to stick the solder to it, and I'm just going to feed it right in to where my iron's touching the pad. And then pull it out. Okay. Perfect. Looks good. Just clean off the excess flux. I actually need to get some rubbing alcohol, so I just kind of give it a good little cleanup, but 2 nice size beads of solder on there. So from here, I just need to join the positive on the bottom. So I'm going to do that first. And that needs to join in this angle, basically like this. So to join this, I'm just going to heat this one side up right here, like this. And now I'm going to just try and join these two together. Come on, baby, heat up. It's not good enough. I need to get it in there deeper. It's just fucking hot. Shit's hot. There we go. That's in there. Oh! Had to wait for it to harden. Fry your fingertips that way. Okay. So that hardened beautifully. Alright, so we got that one done. So then from here, I just need to flip the board over. Oh man, that didn't work out right, did it? So I actually should have gone the other way. So I went this way, and I actually should have gone this way. So I can spin it around. If I don't want to fuck with it, I can leave it like that, but what's that going to look like? Probably shit. It's not bad, but I actually needed to come the other direction, so I need to reset this. Damn it. That's why you should always be sure of your wire direction before you heat it all up and do something, because you could fuck it up like I just did. So this actually needs to go this way. Is it going to reach that far? So I wanted that on the inside. So the inside of this is going to be right here. So you're saying this actually needs to go like this. Like that. This is not going to be an easy join right here. Okay, well, whatever. It's joined. But I had to do it at some funky ass angle, so that sucked. But we got it, so that's all that matters. So now the fun part, I'm going to join the ground to this board. So let's do that real quick. Damn it. Whew. It's hot, but I got it. Kind of. It's not the most beautiful, but so far nothing I've made is beautiful. So whatever. Alright, so the power and the ground are joined. So we have direct feed off of the power distribution board right here in the back. They hit the flight controller right on top. So now I have to take these wires, and I believe, if I'm correct, the white wire is the motor one signal wire, and the black wire is the ground. So I just need to tin up these pads right here, and then we'll do that. I need to get a piece of solder, so that's too small. So we're going to grab a new piece of solder and move on to this next part. Just going to get a little dab of flux on here. The reason why I'm fluxing it is just so that the metal joins like it's supposed to. Flux just helps pull it all together. It's a disgusting substance though. I hate flux. Okay. So there's that. Now let's tin these pads real quick. Let's make sure our tip is still clean. Nobody wants to have a dirty tip. Okay, that's why you scrub your balls when you're in the shower. It's the same concept. Cleaning your tip. So let's just get a nice little bead going on this pad. There's one. There's two. It's not beautiful, but it'll do. Okay, I'm going to fix that ground too because it's bothering me looking at it. There's a little more flux on it too. It just seems like the solder doesn't have a lot of rust because it's not sucking in like it should. Like some of these look like dog shit, so I got to reflux them and then re-hit them, and they'll flatten out the way that they're supposed to look. Just do that real quick, just to look right. So I'm just going to heat these up again real quick. Make sure my tip is nice and clean. Okay. There we go. Those are all cleaned up now. Fuck that up. Need something to push it with. There we go. That's better. It's got better connection that way. Okay, that one's done. Whatever. Okay, now let's make sure our arrow's pointing the correct whatever. I can't talk. Arrow's pointing the right way. We're good. From here, I'm just going to solder on my. That's going to end up getting zip tied right here. There's a telemetry out port on this. I believe that that's what this is, but I don't recall. I'm going to have to look it up later and figure it out. This is going to end up going somewhere on this board right here on one of these ports. But the good news about these ports is that they're pass through. They're on both sides, so I can pop it off and then read it. Figure out where I'm going to put it, and then I have my cam. So this board, I can look at the inside of it still. Right here. Where is it? And then I can still see that all my pins that I have to fuck around with are all right here. Where is it? Right there. Those are all the pins I got to mess with. So I have my ground, my camera, my video out, my video in. So I just have to correlate the two. So video in is this inside one, that's video out. Then I'll set it all up with my camera that way. So I'll just solder it all on top right here. But just making sure I hit the right holes with each one. It's the biggest dilemma at this point. Otherwise I burn stuff up, and well, we don't want to burn stuff up, that's all bad. So the telemetry I know is going to go somewhere on this board. There's an RSSI feed, I think. I just have to find it. I don't know where it is. So from here, we're just going to set up the motor feeds. Probably just going to wrap them on the inside. Really doesn't matter though. It could come on the outside, but it's just cleaner if they don't get snagged, I think. So I'm just going to cut these right here. I'm going to strip these with my thumbnail. let me? Okay. Flux these up. Right, tin this up, and then I'll attach this real quick. So now these are going to come on the inside of this and touch in. So I actually made them a little bit too long, unless I wrap them again. Let's wrap them. Okay. Let's cut this down a little bit. Okay, there's that one. Let's push this off to the side. I'll attach these two real quick. There's that one, and there you go, there's that one. So those two are attached now. There's a fucking mosquito in here. I just heard it fly by my head. So these are going to go this way. So cut these right here. It's my little bin of extra wire. It gives me a little pool to pull from. It's from all of it's from this build for the most part. So, but it just gives you a little extra wire to mess with. So, where's my fucking strippers? I cut my fingernails too short, so now I can't strip wire with them. So I'll just get out my handy dandy little doodads here and we'll strip away. Using the 26 gauge stripper. That's about what size this wire is. Shit, I cut it on accident. There we go. That'll work. Okay, let's just give her a little slabberuno. Flux. We're going to tin up our tip here. Alright, that's done. Now we're going to bring these in and then join them. Just setting it up and then laying it across, and then I'll come in with the heat, hit it real quick, and it'll join. So, not leaving it on too long, just a real quick in and out, just enough to get it to join. So, then whenever you leave your soldering iron, leave it with solder on it. Don't ever leave it unsoldered, especially if it's on, because you will fuck up the tip of your soldering iron. Trust me, I learned this one the hard way. So we are on to the next port. So same thing, like I said, we're just going to go same way all across. We're just going to come up from the AAC, wrap around the post, just to keep the wire on the inside. Actually, this one I might do a direct solder because I don't want it to get in the way of the USB port. So this one will actually just come straight in this way because I don't want it getting in the way of my plug. This one looks like it's going to be a purely internal side anyway, so. Alright, well, the balance charger just finished. So this new balance charger I was trying, it actually works pretty good. Let's just check the voltage real quick on these batteries now that it says that they're done. I'll make sure that they're done. Oh no, just fucking got just whacked. Alright. Perfect. 4.2 in each cell. So let's just check the other batteries since I'm checking them. Four point two, 4.2, 4.2. All right, well, it's a good balance charger. Works good. And the cool part about this board is I'll show you guys. I know you guys care. Is that it all has inline fuses. So worked good though. Good times. I'm not hiding out here. What are you talking about? Good night. I was talking. Guess I'm not allowed to be out here. Anyway, go hash that out real quick. Be right back. Ah, fuck, my iron's still on. God damn it, my life. Smells like ozone in here. Let's see what we got. Fucking back's bugging me. Alright, well, let's get back to it. Where did we leave off? Well, let's... Just polluted my tip pretty hard. Alright, well, that's why I left the solder on there. You leave a good little shining of solder, man. Your tip will never get fucked up if you leave it on too long. So, these need to go like this. Where's that guy? Hey, you little bastard. Slimy little bastard. Come here. Now I'm just going to schmegma this up real quick so it sits down, because it did one of those spikes again. That's because there's not enough rosin core, I don't think, in this solder. Alright, there. That's good. That'll work. That will work. So that's done, that's done. And for this guy, should we wrap around the backside, or should we just come straight up in and dump? No, let's wrap around the backside. I don't want it getting caught. So I'm going to cut these right about here. Once again, ground on the outside, white on the inside. Slippery ass wires. Just get a little schmegma over here. Alright, so that's it for that. Now, we're going to solder these bad boys up. That's soldered up. Now, coming in from the back side here, I'm just going to cut this down a little bit. It's not very pretty. Cut that guy down. Solder him up. Whoops. Join that guy. Come on. Come on. Alright, I can put the soldering iron down. Or burn myself. Alright. Come on, get where I need you. That's where I need you, right there. Stay there. No, stay there. There's that. All right. Okay, so we are all joined up as far as these go. I'm gonna mount this with a zip tie while it's here. I probably don't need them this big, but whatever. There's that, so that's mounted. I don't know what the fuck with that again. So everything's completely accessible. It's zip tied down. It's not going anywhere. So that's done. These wires should be held in place now by this. I'll just probably eventually zip tie these together. Maybe even tie in the battery ground. We have to figure out where. Night, baby. The La Quinta and Paso?
Yeah.
All right.
Just tell them because it was, I don't know,
Tell them.
good price. And
Tell them. I will tell you what to tell them. Tell them.
that is cool.
My son's birthday is April 21st.
My son's
And
we're going to the hotel.
we're going to the hotel and we're just staying there for 2 days. And
So I have to get a cake to bring there, huh?
yeah, and because it's my son's birthday and we're gonna have a lot of fun for 2 days. And
Do you want me to get a cake or you just want to go out for dessert?
you can get a cake.
Of course. All right. Let's go read and go to bed. Night, night, day, huh?
Night.
Night night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. All right, let's hold them.
Is that your whole gun?
No, I'm working on it though. See?
We can even go wine tasting.
Work
Dale.
in progress.
Wait, Dale.
What?
If they'll let you bring your new drum, you can bring it and fly it through the coast. That drum.
Sounds fun.
Make sure to not fly it by the pool.
It's kind of like 9 years.
He said cool.
Okay.
They're probably gonna say, "What is that thing?"
Night night.
Night, night.
Night night, everybody. Night night. Smells like banana in here now.
Because he ate bananas to make his legs strong.
Oh, Jesus, this kid. You're killing me, Bugs. Alright, let's work on. That's going to make that challenging. How am I going to get to camera? Because I think that's camera. Let me look back at the video or the picture here I got. Okay, so Free Sky XSR, which is what I have, don't I? Free Sky Smart Audio goes to SmartPort TX1. I don't know on the X4R where that is, but we'll have to figure that out. I thought it was on this port. So, cam 5 volt. LiPo, cam pin, bridge, VBAT, and cam 5 volt cam pins. bridge, 5 volt, and cam. Fuck, I gotta bridge these things? Where is that? It's on the other side of the board, isn't it? I could. See, I did buy a VTX with a LC filter in it. So this thing, if I do recall correctly, should have an LC filter output. So I can actually power my camera off my VTX, which I probably will do, just because. So this is the power and ground for the camera, and this is the bullshit for the VTX. So let me get back to showing you. So here's the VTX. This is the Wolf. I don't know what the fuck it is. The Wolf Whoop Q1 Pro. It's a fucking M2 knockoff from Race Day Quads. That's what it is. It looks exactly like the AKK, and the AKK is a knockoff of the M2. So anyway, this guy has a 5 volt output, which I plan to. Oh no, this is a 7 volt input. 7 to 24 volt input. So this actually needs to come up to my front pad right here. So I will probably tighten this down right here at this point. This guy's probably good to get screwed in. I mean, it's temporary. Anyway. There's that. Okay, so now that's screwed down. So now this, we have 2 other things we have to do. We have to power our camera, which is this Runcam Swift. This guy. Where'd my handy dandy little cutty tool go? So this is a Rotor Riot Ramcam Swift with a GoPro lens on it. So it's got a really big lens. So this, you know, it's a pretty decent camera. This also has a microphone built into it. This is the Rotor Riot edition for the Runcam. Is this to adjust it? It's got to be some sort of digital picture adjustment thing. Alright, so we need to mate this. Get the pins that correspond with it. So we have a 5 volt 36 ground video audio VBAT. I don't have a VBAT wire. It seems strange, doesn't it? Is this like a VBAT out? There. That That was not easy to get in there. So I thought I was breaking it. This is a 2-pin out for ground and on-screen display. Where the fuck does that go? So I have a 5-volt 36. So I should just power this off the board. Actually, no, because I want to use the LC filter on this. So I could pop the pin out of here and push the pin into there, and it would accomplish the same goal. I could actually reconfigure this plug with these pins, because I think they're the same pins. Let me look. They're the same pins? I think they are. So, I might just reconfigure this plug out, but I think the pins are smaller in this. FC UART, 5-volt cam, ground, video. So I would need to put the pins in the appropriate order. So 5-volt ground, video, audio. Flight controller UART. And this can go straight to power. So what TX would I put this into? I'm curious of that. So would this go to TX1? So right next to the positive port. So if I'm looking at the positive, so where's the ground wire? So this TX3, is that what I'm looking at? So it's on the motor 3 side of the board. No, it's TX1. It's this, get rid of that. Okay. Read that in a second. Let me just get all these camera pieces the fuck out of my way. Now I think that when I do this camera too, I think this is actually the plate that you're supposed to use. And if this doesn't work, then I can use the mount that came with it. But I think that I've sworn that this gets mounted on here somehow. But it does not look like that this camera is going to accept this mount. This must be for the other one of these. Yeah, because this normally would get accepted. Like so. That is not going to work for this camera. So it's just looking at this. This is not going to work. So the question I have, so if this doesn't work, how the hell am I going to squeeze this into this? So these go here somehow. This way? Probably this way. That. Like this. And I thought that this was supposed to join these to this. And you would pick your angle of your camera based on this, right? Yeah, some shit like this. But this is the reinforcement place for the antenna. That's what that is. So what do you do when your camera is a weird configuration that will not accept this? So maybe I'm just supposed to take this out and run off of the whole of the camera itself. Such as this guy. Or maybe it does a double bolt. Is there a chance that this double bolts? No, doesn't line up right. So what's the purpose of this extra shit on this camera? Why did it come with this extra shit? It's a pitch angle mount, but this isn't going to work with this frame because this frame, I guess it would. See, but is there an adapter for this? Oh yeah, there is an adapter. Look, you can switch out the back plate to a non one of these to get rid of this extra shit that's in here. And then I can use that other plate. So I'm going to swap out this plate real quick, get rid of these extra mounts, and then we're right as rain. We should be anyway. For as much as this camera was, dude, you think it would have came set up that way. This camera's not cheap right here. This one was pretty expensive, so. But we're going to switch to a traditional plate because then I can use the mount that comes with this frame and utilize it properly. Like so. I wonder if I should waterproof this camera real quick. Where the screw go? Like this. I have my little handy dandy guy right here. I'll probably use this to do this. This guy works better for this job because it actually fits perfectly. Alright, so there's that. Now this should match that. This way? This way. I think it's supposed to go like that, but this has an extra 2 ports. Maybe this way. This way? Yeah, that way. I think that's how that's supposed to go. And then that would sit into a slot, and that would set the angle. Yeah. So these screws have to come out again, and I have to screw this plate onto this. And that's going to determine. So whatever these extra 2 ports are, yeah, we're not using them. They're getting sealed off from the world. I You know what I think that's for? I think that's for the camera menu. I think that's what those are for. So if I ever need to configure the camera, I can fucking hook that up. Okay, so that's screwed. I'm just going to get them pre-screwed in since they don't seem to want to turn very well. Okay, there's that, there's that. This is going to go on here. Like so. Screw that in. Like so. Boy, that's not a lot of threads to bite into that, is there? Well, did it come with longer screws? Because if it doesn't come with longer screws, I'm going to get fucked. Because it's not fitting properly. I think oh, it's because of that. That's why it's not working. So how do you do it then? How do you do it? That's a question, because we do not have enough thread here. Camera got jacked. Let me fix it. If you look right here, look at how much thread we have. We don't have a lot of thread sticking through. It's not enough to seat all the way in, especially since this mount is hitting on this port on this camera. So I don't know what to do here. There's not enough meat there. Even the bottom that's sitting in there pretty well is not, it doesn't have enough to grab. Especially with this thing sitting here. I mean, I could cut the fire, I could cut it right here and and cut it so that it sits flush, but that's really going to make this camera mount really weak, so then it's only be held by this piece right here. I don't think the screws that came in this bag are any longer. What's there? They're probably shorter. Yeah, no, they're the same length. So, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? How do we fix it? Anybody got any suggestions? Oops. Anybody got any suggestions? I am open for suggestions at this point. Well, seems like I need longer run cam screws, whatever the hell these are. So, I don't know. I guess what I could do is I could just mount this frame on the back. Not even mount it hard mount it. Set the angle and then tighten the screws down. And that would set the angle of the camera. So I mean, I could do it that way and then just double-sided tape or hot glue the camera in, I guess, to this frame. It's gonna look like shit, but it'll work. Basically set the mount like so. Put this piece in without screwing the camera to it. Set it in its slot. The camera's going to sit in. Drop the camera in. Screw the camera into these holes. And then mount it that way. And hot glue the back side of the camera down. Or just get longer fastener or screws from run cam. That's the other option. So that's the other option, is that we just, depends on the angle we want on the camera, is how steep of an angle it's going to set at. Real world problems right here. That's not going to work, so I'll probably just have to cut these. And then solder them to these. Unless these pins are the same. Let's see. No, they're different. Different pins. So I'll have to splice these together. But I need to come to the flight controller anyway, so maybe I'll just figure out where that solder pad is that I'm supposed to join for the video. And we'll just join that, and I'll use the 5-volt from the flight controller to power the camera. Did I get that little motherfucker? Mosquito. Fuck. I'm not gonna be able to do shit because all these motors are already on. So we're up shit creek without a paddle for that. Let's look at the picture. Let's see. No. I need to zoom in on this fucking picture. VTX out. Okay, so I know the ground is going to hit one of these outer deals. Where's the VTX getting its power from? It's getting it straight from positive LiPo. It says, yeah, positive LiPo. Okay, I did that. So using DSM, which I'm not. It's buzzer. That's cool. Actually, just stick that fucker right in there. Okay. FreeSky SmartPorts TX1, which is right here. So I need to figure out on this X4R where the smart port is. And that goes there. That means TX. Okay, so that's the closest one to M2. And this one. Let me see, where's the direction? So I can use this 5-pole right here. I don't even have to use that one. I just need to use the BTX out is one of the 4 pins, right? That's the first 4 pin. Closest to this side, so it's going to be video in. So the video in is this one, and then this is out. Video out, video in. So video in, video out, cam, ground. Below that is a 5-volt, so that's a 5-volt. That's a ground. And that is RX2. Receive UR2. So it goes video in, video out. Video in, video out. So my camera needs to connect to the 5 pin needs to go here. There's that. So I'm going to cut this shit off. Myself a little bit of extra right here. Okie dokie, so we now have our 5 pins that we have to figure out what the hell is what. So I know yellow is video, so that's going to be straight video. This is obviously black is ground. It's too much black. Red is positive. What is white? White is the audio. Where the hell is that supposed to go? Pink is the VBAT. So these are the 3 I'm going to worry about right now. Just going to tip nice and clean. More water, a little bit. It's more water. Okay, tip is nice and shiny. There's that. Alright, so I'm going to work on tinning up this board where I'm going to use it. Okay, video in, video out. Now, this outer one should be this middle one, the first one in the 3. That'll be a 5-volt. So this is the cam we're going to use. Let me just get a little schmegma and put it in there. Raise this ground. Okay. Video in, video out, 5-volt ground. And if I do recall, this can go straight to LiPo 724 volt. So this can actually go to my outer hang. And if I want to power the camera, I can. So video in is the camera, and that goes to the innermost pin, if I'm correct on the yellow. Innermost pin. So the innermost pin from the camera. I don't think I've tinned all these wires yet, so let's get at least nice and tinned. Okay, those are 10 now. And the 3 that I'm most concerned with are these 3. So this is the video in, which should be the innermost one. Innermost meaning this guy. Okay, there's that. So that's video in, and now power is the middle pin, this guy. And ground is the outer pin. Alright, so those are done. Now, for the VTX. I'm gonna have to try and solder this like this. This is gonna suck. I should have tinned this other pad, and I didn't. Now I'm gonna have to pay for it. I have to tin it underneath the board. It's gonna be a nightmare. Try not to burn my fingertips right now. Okay, there's that. So this VTX is going to go this way, along the top. So that means this guy needs to come down like this. I don't have one of these connectors. I wish I did, because I would just solder on this connector. So when I wanted to, I could take the VTX out. But I guess I can always just unplug the VTX like that. And then I have free reign with it. But Okay. Just trying to join the ground to the ground terminal on this PDB. Okay, they're joined. Not pretty, but it works. It will work. Okay. Who's texting me? So let's get back to this. So that is now joined. So that's powering the VTX. Now I have to find what these are. And green on this is FC UART 5-volt cam ground video ground 7-volt 24. So that's the ground for that. So I need to worry about. I don't need the power. I don't need that. Those can just get cut. Unless the video sucks, and then I will redo the power wire to these ones. We'll utilize these pins. Or I'll solder these wires together if the video is grainy, but I'm not worried about it. I bought this because this has an LC filter in it, so that is why I bought this specific one. The LC filter will clean up the video so there's no static and ugliness and all that stuff. So if I'm flying this and it gets really bad, I'll just unsolder these and then join the power and the ground right here on that, and then it should clean up the video. But I'm not worried about that right now. Let's just get this thing fucking done. Is this if you want to use a 3-pin? Alright, so I need to worry about the yellow, which is the other yellow on this board right here. And the green, I believe, goes to a flight controller UART. But I'm not sure which one at this point in time. So let's look at this diagram again. Where does my smart audio goes to the one opposite of TX1, which is TX3. So that goes there. So this is going to come down off the roof like this. So I'm going to probably do something like this with it. So this needs to go all the way over to TX3, this green one. I cut this pigtail off because it is no longer useful. Spin these out a little bit, not too much, because I still want to utilize. Kill the schmegma off my iron. Alright. knock all that extra shit off. Oh. Alright. So, you are going to now connect, this video is going to connect to the other pin that's right here. Got that. Now, this green guy is going to connect to this other pin that I haven't tinned yet. So I need to find my handy dandy schmegma spreader. Use this fucking little bit of solder right here. I'm going to connect you right here. Okay, that's now tinned. Oh, is this wire tinned? Feels like it. Looks like it. Okay, you are going to come across this way. Now I'm going to touch you to that. If I can do it properly without burning my finger. Bam. Alright, so that's now done also. So, our VTX is connected. Our camera is connected. If I want to show VBAT, I need to connect the VBAT to this other terminal where I just connected the other one. I don't know why it has a terminal for VBAT on it also, but it says to connect it to the VBAT. So VBAT it is. Alright, let's get rid of the schmegma. Now I'm going to touch this also to the VBAT underneath all this other crap that I got going on over here. Ooh, that was not good. Ooh, that's not good. So the angle is not good. So I'm going to have to go under all this shit to get this. I don't even know how the hell I'm going to get it, to be honest with you, because the angle sucks. Okay, that's on. Alright, I got it. The angle did suck though, I'm not going to lie about that. So now this guy is going to go on to this guy, like so. Now, if I recall this correctly, I'm going to use one of these rubber tie-down straps on this instead of using a zip tie because a zip tie would break, where these do not break. These are the rubber tie-down straps from Team Black Sheep. That's what these are. So I don't exactly know how it works, but I'm about to figure that out right now. I think I just pull this down and it would cinch itself down, but I'm not sure. But I know I'm going to leave the VTX kind of in a free floating position, and I'm going to cinch this down like this. one more, and then I'll run it around several times just to make sure. So like I said, I've never used these before. I just saw that these are the things to use for this type of scenario. Maybe I'll go down one more. So I'm going to do like a really short run. Probably 1 plus. Okay, I don't think I did it right. Maybe it goes the other way. Say Wednesday, it's Tuesday. Yeah, that looks better. So I had to figure this out. So this goes the other way than what I originally thought it did, and I think that you loop it several times. Something like this. I'm not quite sure yet. Let's see how this works out though. And then I'll zip tie this also, but this is just in case the zip tie breaks, I don't lose my VTX, go flying off into cyberspace. I don't quite understand how these things work, but I think it's supposed to grip it like that. For some reason it's slipping. I think it's supposed to be like some sort of grip thing right there. But mine is not gripping very well. That means I probably utilized the strap wrong. Whatever. Okay. So, and then from there, I'll probably just zip tie this bad boy. Straight around right here. Something like that. sure it's not gonna hold everything. Yeah, looks like I'm good. I think you're supposed to just stretch the shit out of this thing when you put it on. Like, pull as hard as you can type thing. And then try and get the cinch down to as small as possible. I think that's how these work, but I'm not quite 100% sure yet. Alright, so the VTX is on. That's going to go there. So now it's just about, I need to solder on my connector, which I'm actually going to solder on some wire, some decent wire. Everyone says if you solder the connector on straight, you'll rip it off. So we are going to put a little bit of wire in there. That way it has flexibility to bend. Bend on a crash so it doesn't eject the battery. Okay, it's nice and tight. Nice and tight. Let's get the site prepared. Wonder if I should solder on the XD60 first, because that's going to be more of a pain. Fucking mosquito. Kill that. It's going to taste like shit. I've been eating my wife alive if she was in here. But for me, I'm a sour old goat, so they don't eat me. Which is a good thing for me. Unless they're starving. But I think that one already gorged itself on my wife when she was out here. So now he's just cruising around in here hanging out. He's our mascot for tonight's show. So, we have a mascot. Okay, this one is not the right kind of XD60 that I want. It's just got the wrong kind. I don't want this one. I want one of these. This is why you always have to order extra shit. In this sport, you never know when you're going to fucking break something. And the kind that they sent me was the kind that's a fixed. I don't want a fixed kind. I want one of these. I want one of these with the solder cup on it so that I can fill the solder cups and then plop the wire in. So that's what we're going to work on right now. So I'm going to get my little handy dandy piece of solder. I'm going to fucking lube up this cup. I'm going to lube up this cup. I'm going to grab it with my little tool here. Now I'm going to start to fill these cups up with solder. Whoa. Launched it at myself. Okay, that one's full. We're going to come over here. That guy's got some in it. Okay, now that we did that, we need to just tin the tip of this bad boy. This is not going to be easy because he's a fat bastard. Everybody knows fat bastard. Get in my belly! You're no fat bastard, you're a millennial. Come on. Come on. Okay, that's not the greatest solder job, but there we go. Now it's full. It's gonna be hot for a minute. So okay, some negative, positive. So positive is the flat side. Black wires are negative, so we're going to heat this up right here. Let's see if we cannot get these two to join. I need more downward pressure than what I can get in the little dangler bob that I got there. So I'm going to burn the shit out of my fingers, but grab it. These are not the easiest things to solder on. There we go. I'd use the pliers to grab it because it's too fucking hot. It's burning the shit out of my finger. So that's what we got. And then from there, I will put a little bit of heat shrink over it to seal up any exposed disgustingness that is quite possibly there still. So we got one side done. Now let's work on tinning the second side, our positive lead. Let's get our handy dandy tool to not fall over. This is a homemade, what do they call them? Like helper hands or whatever the hell they're called. I made it myself. I'm good like that. Come on. Come on. There we go. Now it started. It's hard to get these big wires to accept solder because they're so fucking big, but we did it. See if I can get my little helping hand here to lay flat, just like that. I just need you to hold it up. So I can grab this with my needle nose because it's about 10,000 degrees. Oh, that's hot. Anyway, got it. All right, so I'm going to heat up the cup again. Try to get the solder in the cup to melt. And then once that melts, I'll just push the wire in, and it's going to fall out. That didn't work. Maybe I need more solder in there. Looks like the cup's not full. So when I pushed it in, it didn't bond to anything. So let's put some more in there. Like that. Okay, now the cup's really full now. So not overflowing, but not too full, but not too empty. Come on. Yeah, there we go. It's in now. Some bitch. That some bitch is hot. Okay, so that part's done. Now I'm going to heat shrink that down. Give it a little tubing, a little heat shrink. I don't have anything small enough in here. I have 1/8. Where's the 1/8? It's a set. Yeah, 1/8. Okay, so I can cut this down to over here. 2 pieces this long. There's that guy. There's that guy. Just gonna get that to shrink real quick. Fat side. That way. Heat gun, very hot. Okay, my fingertips are fried, but we got it nice and sucked in now. Doesn't look the most beautiful, but that's because nothing I do ever looks beautiful. But it is heat shrunk down now. Everything looks good. Good enough for government work, as they say. So for now, we are going to join the positive to the positive and the negative to the negative. So before I can do that, I obviously need to fill the giant gaping butthole that's there on this board. So I'm going to try and get solder to bond to this thing. And I'm going to need a big piece of solder because that little piece is not going to be enough. So I'm going to, maybe I should actually set the piece in and then solder it. I'm not sure. Maybe that would be the best way to approach this beast. So let's make sure that I put this in correctly. Okay, let's try that. See if I can fill this gap. Nope. I need something to hold this upright. Maybe I can put this case underneath it at just the right angle so it doesn't fall on me. Sorry to get cluttered up here. Shit everywhere. I should probably tin these first, so I'm going to do that real quick. Instead of just trying to stuff them in there. Let's get them all properly gooped up. So we got it gooped. Let's okay, those are gooped. Goopla pooped. This box is just a little bit too tall. What can I use to accomplish this? Maybe let me put my thing down before I burn myself. Let's put my battery right here. It's not a good idea, but it's the only thing I've got that's like this tall. Okay, it seems to be sitting perfectly right. Hopefully I got that right. I think I do. It's a big ass hole to fill. Oops. All right, well, definitely is not beautiful. I probably should have soldered that on first. But I can try and do a little cleanup, I think. It's not going to clean up very well. Whatever. Okay. All right. Well, I got them fucking smeared up, but I just don't know if I can get them to flatten out the way I want them to look. But I'll try. I'm going to give it my best swing at it, but the holes that I filled with this solder were huge, so I don't know how likely this stuff is to flatten out. Oops. Okay. Whatever. Probably cooked the wire a little bit, but it's on there. I don't know how good, but it's on there. Kind of a pain in the ass to put that in, but it's in. See, I just want to fill these two sides, but I don't think it'll let me. No, it's not gonna let me. I just gotta clean that out. Motherfucker. Shit. Clean tip. If I leave that like that, it's gonna blow up as soon as I plug it in. So I gotta get this shit out of there. Damn it. I'm fucked up. I shouldn't have done anything. So how am I gonna get that out now? This thing's just cooking. So I just cooked off. I think I just cooked off the red. Alright, that's fine, I think. I think I just cooked off the paint. Alright, whatever. If it blows up, it blows up. I think I'm concerned about is that one little dot way up in there. It's not pretty, but it should be okay. I know. Well, not fix it, but. Shit. Shit is nasty and it gets everywhere, but it does work. So. Fucking headache though. Fucking Frankenstein build here. Shit going wrong everywhere. Okay, don't need that right now. Don't need that right now. The only thing I gotta figure out is the telemetry port. No, what you sent me, Mac? I've been doing this all day. What did you send me, Machiavelli? Smart audio pit mode. So the VTX has a smart audio pit mode. Check it out. All right, let's check it out. Buy $414 versus digital books for what, $1? Oh, do-it-yourself electronics. Oh, look at that. What we got here? Adreno, Raspberry, electronics. Pay $15. You get electronics for dummies. BeagleBone for dummies. Learning Python with Raspberry Pi. Did you buy that, Mac? You bought it. I'm just going to use yours. So TX1 is Smart Audio 2 from this, right? S-Bus, S-Port, FreeSky Smart Port. Smart Port goes from here. FreeSky Smart Port. So I need the X4R wiring schematics. X4R wiring diagram. That's what I want. Fuck. Liquid electrical tape, man. That shit'll get you high as fuck. I need a telemetry port. So it goes into the furthest pin this way. Where is the connector for that? Is it this one? Oh, I don't think it's this one. Could be this one. No. Well, that worked. What are the other fucking 4 pins out of this thing? Very first pin would be this guy. Okay, well, looks like telemetry is running on port 1. These can get cut because I don't need these. This guy needs to get gooped. This guy needs to get tinned. Whoa. Swinging a soldering iron around isn't a good idea. This guy needs to get gooped. This guy just needs to get attached. And we're done. Okay, so at this point, everything should be done. Oh, there. Fucking nasty ass liquid electrical tape. Got solder rolling around everywhere. Clean up the fucking workspace, Mac. Shit's looking a little fucking unruly around here. Where'd that foam go? I was just touching. There it is. Alright. I cleaned up a little bit. Good enough. Fucking liquid electrical tape's giving me fucking a headache. Oh, I know. I'm with you, Mac. I can't wait till I have a bigger shop than what I got already. This is just my garage. I wish I had a fucking full legit, no shit, workshop where I could do whatever the fuck I want in it. So that's what I'm kind of looking for when I move. Something that I can spread my wings out in. Experiment with shit. Try new things. That's what kind of what my thoughts are. I don't know if my old lady's too happy about it, but she just wants a pretty house, right? So she doesn't care about what I want. I mean, she does. I mean, she wants me to be happy, but it's like, I'm not moving into a fucking cookie cutter house because it's brand new, just because she wants to. Fuck that. I want something that's what I want. I didn't work this hard to get as far as I have, to not get what I don't want, just to make her happy. I ain't fucking sacrificing for that much. So, worked my ass off to get to this point in my life. Everyone's gonna say, oh, you're only fucking 40 and you're retired, but it's like, you guys don't understand the shit I had to go through to get here. It's fucking a nightmare. It's been fucking torture. Tortured for years now by these cocksuckers. The torture never ends, so it's taken me a long time to get here. I want to enjoy it while I'm here, instead of being fucking dead, which could have likely been the outcome. So, that's kind of what my thoughts are. We won't buy a cookie cutter house. No, I'm with you. Fuck that. Fuck cookie cutters. I ain't living on top of somebody so I can hear this fucking yapping dog ever again. So that shit is not happening. I mean, at this point, I'm fucking pretty much ready to smoke check this thing. See if I plug it in, it blows up. Electrical tape on this port. I just gotta get it off. Schmegma. That's what it should be. Schmegma. Well. Oh no. God damn it, Mac. I fucked up. I put the wrong fucking connector on here. So I have to unsolder this wire and solder this guy on, because it doesn't do me any good when I put the male on. Whoops! Fucked up. Boy, that sucks, man. So I gotta cut this bitch off. I didn't even realize that I fucked that up until right now. I just saw it right now. So some bitch. That sucks. This next one that I solder on here is not going to be anywhere near as nice as this one was. The heat shrink was all perfect. Everything was all nice, done right. Fuck, it's getting hot. Got one side off. There we go. Well, that sucks. Heat shrink was all perfect. Everything looked all nice. Now when I go to put this fucking thing on, it's gonna get all fucked up. So I'll have to pre-put on the heat shrink. It might shrink prior to me moving it, which is gonna suck. No, it's a silicone wedding ring, Mac. It's actually made out of silicone. I'm gonna make this a little bit longer, I think. Too long. Can't get the connector on if it's that long. Good times. Okay, so let's try this again. I'll fucking solder the right connector on this time instead of the wrong connector. And see what happens. Woo! Some bitch, Mac, that's hot. Fucking got me good right there, boy. Fuck. That hurt. That some bitch was hot, Mac, let me tell you. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work at all. fucking heat shrink shrank, didn't it? Sure did. So how am I going to cover up this fucking mess that I've created for myself? I guess I can just electrical tape them. Burn the fuck out of my finger. It's true. It was almost gay. Well, the problem I have now is that the connector is going to be exposed. So I could just probably cover this right here and then electrical tape to paint the fucking shit out of that and just let it dry and then pick up tomorrow with that covered correctly. Just goop this shit in there so it covers the whole thing up. Something like this. And just let it fucking pour on there. Just goop it in there real nice and fucking nasty like. Just how you like it, Mac, nice and nasty. This shit stinks so bad, Mac, that's why I'm cutting it here. Fucking smells like asshole. But it will work. I might just pitch it this way so that shit just goops around these connectors. Because I don't care if it goes down there too, because I need it to go down there and cover all that shit up. That's kind of what my thoughts are. What up, Chris? A whoop I would buy off of, well, it depends. Do you want to pay a little bit more or do you want to wait? So it's what it really depends on. Do you want to pay more, Chris, or do you want to wait? Ah, fuck. Burn the shit out of my finger. I might still wrap that once it dries with electrical tape anyway. Just right here. Tighten that connector up. Peel all this extra shit off. I'm curious to see if this thing blows up when I plug it in right now. I'll be sad for like a minute, but yeah. You might be able to buy one from Grayson Hobby. The Whoop. Should I plug it in and see if it blows up? You guys want to take the ride with me? 3, 2, 1. Well, I heard like a but I think that was just the power kicking on and off. But no smoke. No, I tried that last time. I tried heat gunning the electrical tape. You just gotta wait. This shit's fucking gross anyway. It's like, remember that fucking movie with that tar? Did I talk to you about that? It's like that tar shit in the fucking, the Blob or whatever it was. We were kids, we watched that shit. So, from here out, I'm going to, just too far forward. This might be too far forward. This might be supposed to be back here. And then this is supposed to be back here. Fuck, so I fucked this up too. I'm fucking all kinds of shit up today. Just fucking shit up. Yeah, this shit's gross. So gross. This is supposed to be right here. And that is supposed to be back there. And this is supposed to get pinched in right here. If I build this the traditional Martian way, this connector would actually go up right here. But I'm not building it that way. I don't like that way. I'm going to build it with the fucking shit hanging out the back. Gangster style. Gangster. I'm keeping this build gangster. Like Snoop Dogg fucking style. Like Snoop Dogg can't even read his own fucking comments and shit when he's playing vids. Like that kind of Snoop Dogg style. So, keeping this shit gangster as fuck. I don't know, what do the Grayson guys sell? I gotta look. Give me a minute, Chris. I plan to wrap this shit up here in a minute anyway. These tie straps are funky. Funky. Like a monkey. Just cut a little bit of this off and say fuck it. Okay, that's on there. Now I'm going to zip tie that down right here. Let's try this again. And you want the eSheen E10OS. That's the one you want. But if Banggood USA has it too, Chris, I mean, it doesn't take too long to get it from Banggood. And they're the actual distributor. Grayson will be a little bit more, but they're out of Alabama or some shit. Atlanta. I think they're in Atlanta. Alright. So that's remounted. Hopefully that'll reach. Oh yeah, that's good. That'll come right up and plug right in. That goes to the camera. That goes up there. I'm gonna wrap the rest of this shit up somewhere. God, I got a fucking headache now from this shit. I gotta get away from this shit. The DYS controller, Chris, works. It's a FreeSky compatible controller. It's only 25 bucks. That's probably a good price, a good bang for your buck. It'll go about 100 meters on that controller. Or you can buy the, if you want to spend a little bit more and get a little more range, buy the FreeSky. This is the QX7S. But you don't need this one. You can just buy the QX7 without the S. And that's a very good controller, and it's only 100 bucks. So it depends. It depends how much money you want to spend. So I'd rather spend the money on the controller than having it sooner. Buy the better controller. And then these are good goggles. These are good starter goggles. The eSheen VR007. They're only 40 bucks. They're good goggles. They work good. They give you a good picture from a whoop. You can fly the fuck out of it with these. It'll go, I don't know, 50 meters. I put a dipole antenna on. You can buy those online too. You need the RP SMA antenna. So there's an SMA which has a penis, and there's an RP SMA that has a vagina, and you want the vagina antenna. You can buy this online for 40 bucks. It's a good buy. It's what my kid uses, but it's what I also use to stream with when I'm streaming. It's the one you watch from. But I've also flown with these too, because sometimes it's better than putting these on. See, these are Amway Commanders. These are expensive because they come with a DVR, so I can actually record my video footage from these. But these are 300 bucks, and they come with the diversity receiver, so these get way better range than the other one because of the receiver in it will filter out all the extra bullshit. And then this also is a patch antenna, so a higher decibel antenna, but it works like a cone. So I have to be looking at the drone to get it further away. Whereas the secondary, and this has two receivers in it, by the way, too. So there's one for the patch antenna and then a receiver for the omnidirectional, which is like the circle around me. But this guy, if I point it at it, it'll go far. I can go super far with that one. So these are great buy, but they're $300. So it's just about what you want to spend. Because you can spend a lot of money, you can spend a little money. It's just, it's on your budget. So you can spend $25 for a controller that you can bind one drone to, but you can bind multiple instances, I think, of that drone, but I'm not sure. Or you can just buy a better controller and bind 64 drones to it. So what you have, if you're, okay, so then you're going to need the QX7. You're going to need 2 of them. So $200 a controller. I guess you could buy one of the $25 controllers. So buy yourself one of these, not the X7S, but just the QX7. Buy yourself one of these because it's a better radio. And then hold on, I'll go show you the other one. I think I got it right here. All right. So this is the other controller I'm talking about. This guy. And I could probably just, I don't know, send you this one. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. But anyway, this is the DYS fucking FreeSky compatible controller. And you could fly any of these drones I have with this controller. Well, I think any. I know that there's a video that how to bind the Whoop to this. So $25 you could be rolling. It's got worse gimbals. Like the gimbals aren't great. I mean, it's $25. I mean, what do you expect? So, but it comes with all your switches. You know, it's got a little readout. You can program this shit, do all your little stuff on it. But I mean, for $25, you can't really beat it. If you just want a cheap controller. 100 yards though, Chris, like about 100-yard range on that controller. That other one that I have will go about 500 yards. Goes pretty fucking far. So you gotta remember too, a lot of it comes down to what antenna you're using. So I'm just happy this thing didn't blow up when I plugged it in. It's a good sign, boys. It's a good sign. Now I should put the frame together and plug in the VTX to make sure I got video output. And plug in the camera and make sure I got camera output. And just, before I go any further, because it's pretty much pointless if I don't see a picture. And if I don't see a picture, it's pretty much fucking a moot point. So I need an SMA antenna. So as you can see, Chris, I've started to collect shit. I need one with a penis. There we go. See, there's the difference. I'll try and show you the difference right now. So if I can get it to focus on it. Where are you? Wait, wrong way, that way. So if you look in there, you'll see that there's a pin in the center of it. Why aren't you focusing? Focus on my palm. There you go. So, pin, no pin. RP SMA, no pin. SMA pin. So that's the trick. Remember that. Or you're going to buy the wrong fucking antenna and then get pissed because you got the wrong antenna. And it's your own fault. So that's like that. This goes like this. Okay. I should have video when I plug this in now. Where is my little headset here? Let's plug her in. And boys, look at that. See all that bullshit? That means we have video. I understand male, female. Oh God, Chris! Ah, fuck! I almost fell out of my chair. Fuck! That's a tough plug. I understand male, female. He said. That's funny. Come on! I was just starting to think you've been hanging out with Mark too long. You don't know where to put it in. I'm gonna get beat up. Mark's gonna fucking beat me up. I think I'm just going to soft mount this bitch. I know this is gonna break on a crash, but I'm gonna do it. See, I wish I had two slots right here. I'd zip tie. I mean, I could zip tie it across right here, just to zip tie this connector so it doesn't flop. Try that. I know it's gonna break when I crash, but hopefully I don't crash. You said hopefully. You're right. You seen this guy fly? He flies like shit and crashes every 10 seconds. It's true. I am a shitty pilot. But I'm getting better slowly. Mom's B-Day. Who's mom? Her mom? Oh boy. Today is my wife's mother who passed away's birthday, obviously. Because it's not my mom's birthday. So that's might be another reason why she's... Oh, sorry. Fucking piece of shit. There we go. Might be another reason why she's been cranky lately. Because maybe she is upset that her parents are both dead. I have to ponder that. These fucking strap things suck. Whatever. Alright, well we're going to leave that zip tied like that. Even though that's going to break on the first crash. That zip tie is going to snap. Whoosh. No dragon. That just ended. Thankfully. But fuck. It's all bad. It's like a dead parent sucks. Especially when you're young. God, Mac, why am I still in here? Fucking this shit stinks. Jesus. Fucking handicap. I'm sitting in here breathing this crap in. So these are the standoffs. I'm putting the standoffs on because I'm going to mount the antennas. I'm going to show you how. It's a pretty bitchin' way. I think you'll like it. I should probably bind my radio to this also. But basically, I'm going to put these antennas like this in some tubes. So one will go up like that, and the other one will go down like that. I saw a bitchin' way of doing it, and I got the tubes to do it. Somewhere. Right here, there. So I'm going to use these tubes right here. These are like RC antenna tubes. I've got a lot of shit now, Chris. You'd be impressed at how much shit I've collected. Collected from fucking this hobby already. I have a lot of shit. So I'm gonna bend this. Let me see if I can get this in frame, but instead of it looking like that, I'm gonna take this and I'm going to bend it that way. So at a 45, and then I'm going to heat shrink. I'm going to take a piece of heat shrink and I'm going to heat shrink this antenna onto this standoff so that it's permanently affixed like that. And then the antenna will come up a lower portion of this, probably not the bottom, but I'll probably drill a little hole in the side of this and then feed the antenna up and in. It's crazy. So it's going to be bitching when it's done though, because the antennas won't. Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm going to bend it. So I'm gonna bust out my good old handy dandy MacGyver heat gun, and I'm gonna bend this shit. But I got to get these standoffs all set in. I gotta make sure that it's all gonna work. Work. So I'm gonna put these standoffs in. I gotta do a little wire cleanup, like to make sure all this shit looks good. These motors alone were $90, but man, they are smooth. They're some smooth ass motors. These are actually Armatin Velvet Omps. They're Omps. This is my expensive drone. This is all really good parts on it. So D-Shot 1200. This thing should be pretty bitchin'. So I'm thankful I didn't blow it up when I built it, because it's all my good shit that I bought. I'd have been pissed. Oh, you'll never believe it too. No, 90 total, Mac. 90 total. So that's expensive for motors. You guys are saying, well, it's not that much money, but just the motors alone for $90, Jesus. To buy the frame, this is a copy of the frame, and the frame is called the Impulse RC Alien. But this is the real AC Martian. It's a Chinese knockoff on the frame, but the frame alone is $192 for this fucking drone. And it's just a frame and a power distribution board. The Chinese knocked it off and sell it for 20. God bless China. So, anyway, I bought the knockoff. Spent the money on the rest of the parts instead. So I just feel like, why not? Yeah, the motors are a very crucial part, but I mean, you can buy a decent set of motors for half the price that I've paid for these ones, but I just felt like I wanted to buy really good stuff. So one really good drone that I plan to fly a lot and break a lot, and I've already bought spare arms for it. This is going to be the one that I fly the most, because I want to get good with this frame, because this frame is a freestyle frame. That's generally what this frame is for. It's freestyle. Did that come off? That looks like that came off. I'm going to have to touch that back on. That needs to get fixed. So let's clean the tip. Let's get the tip hot with a little solder. Like that. Now I have to retouch this on here. This came, oh god, I almost touched my finger. So last time I fucking burned myself doing this, so I gotta try and figure this out without burning myself. Especially now that standoff's in the way. It's gonna pop off again. I know it. There we go. That got a good bite on it. Doesn't look pretty, but whatever. It's on there. Now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with this audio. Where the hell does this go? Is this from this microphone? Maybe this is from this microphone that's on this thing. But this fucking VTX is a built-in audio. So I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with this yet. So the front part had a little bit of a snafu with the front part, because this plate actually has 6 pins and it's only made for a plate with 4 pins. I need to figure this out, how I'm going to fucking get around this, because normally what you do, I'll show you, is you would take this and you would screw this plate onto this camera like this. The problem is you would normally screw it on like that, and then it would sit in these slots. If you look at these, see how these got these slots? These are the degree slots. So the camera would sit in here like this, and you could set it for 15 or 25 or 35 degrees. So that's basically, so when it sits in the drone, it would sit in like this, and then if you wanted to change the angle, you could switch the slot that it sits in. And obviously, the further back you go, the higher the pitch in the camera. So, and obviously, this is flat here, and that's a huge pitch. So that means your drone to fly level would be a huge angle. So, and that's just to fly. So when you're flying level, you'd be flying something like that. So anyway, the less pitch, the less like forward momentum that your camera would have. So this would be level like right here on the first slot. The second slot would be more like here, and the third is like, and then obviously the more pitch, faster you go. But the my whole point on this is I just want to use the first one because I suck anyway, and I don't want to go that fast because I'll wreck. True story. Are the motors serviceable? Yes, Mac. You can. I can unscrew them. Here, where's those other ones? Here's another motor. Here's an Emax motor. Okay, these are a little bit less money. They were about $24. No, 20. These are $18, $19, $18 a piece. But as you see, you can unscrew the set screw on the bottom, and it would take the bell off. And the bell is this outer shell. And once you take that off, you can see the windings on the motor. And when they wind these motors, they wind them with sealed copper wire. So the copper wire already comes pre-coated. So this engine or motor, whatever you want to call it, is actually waterproof. It's waterproof, 100% waterproof, guaranteed from the manufacturer. Because right now, the motor wouldn't work at all if it wasn't, because if there was any break in the insulation that they coat these on, the motor wouldn't work at all because it would short. So that's how you know the motors are waterproof. If it fucking spins with electricity, it's waterproof. The rest of this stuff, we're going to waterproof with this nasty shit called Corrosion X. If you guys haven't seen this shit, go check it out on YouTube. This shit is fucking badass, Chris. Go look up videos of dudes putting Corrosion X on their drone. Okay, or on these components that you see here. They'll cover them with that Corrosion X shit, and then basically it's waterproof. It's fucking insane. That shit leaves like some nasty slime on all electronics, but basically it'll waterproof all your shit. So this thing, you can fly in the rain, get it 100% wet. Bam! This shit's fucking crazy. Shit's nuts. So anyway, Corrosion X, it's really cool stuff. This liquid electrical tape finally dried, and it just fucking stinks. Oh, God, I have such a gnarly headache now. This shit stinks horrible. You have this shit at home? Oh, fuck. Come to your house next time. I'm coming to hang out with you, Chris. You got all the good shit. But I think I'm moving to Colorado, bud. Oh, God. Here's another drone I gotta finish. I just have to go. These other motors that I have sitting here are for this drone, but the manufacturer is a bunch of cheapskates, and they sent me, or the motors, they didn't even make the fucking wire long enough to do anything with. And that has to touch these 3 pads right here, from here to here, but it's too short. So I gotta figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do there. But I started this build because I wanted to get a build behind me before I did my good one, but I just said YOLO, fuck it. Oh, fucking Chris, what a dick. What a dick. Anyway, this camera has a GoPro lens on it, which is kind of cool. So that's why I kind of bought that one, but it was an expensive camera. Okay, so I guess from here I'll shut up and I'll get back to work, and I will. I'm gonna start putting this part together. Maybe I should put the rest of these nuts on, tighten that down all the way, since I know it's not gonna blow up now. And then I can work on how I'm gonna clean up my wiring. I need to bind my radio to this. So, put these on. And just tightening the screws down on that's going to hold this flight controller down so it doesn't vibrate and shit. Gotta kind of push these wires out of the way for this nut to tighten down. These nice and tight. Alright, so the reason why these two wires are still sitting here is because I might use these eventually. I'm not sure yet. That's why they're kind of chilling. That's going to be a 5-volt out from the VTX that's supposed to go to the camera, but instead I tied the camera into the actual flight controller. So I'm drawing power from the flight controller right now. My solder joints don't look good, so it is what it is. It's life in the fast lane. I guess from now we'll install the camera. We'll try and figure out what the fuck we're gonna do here. I could hot glue the camera to the plate, and then once that dries, mount it to everything else. I could do that because if I hot glue it, it won't. I mean, it could break, but I'm also gonna screw it in. Where did that plate go? Oh, then this is for the. If I wanted to, I could cap this with this. It's like a VTX fucking cap or some shit. I don't know what the fuck this plate's for, but I don't even think they gave me 2 sets of standoffs. So I don't even know how the fuck I'd mount this thing. Because I don't think I do have 2 sets of standoffs. It would have to sit right here, right now. But it did come with this extra cap plate, I think, and that's just to prevent the flight controller from touching anything else, but in my build, it's just, I don't have anything else. You know? So I don't really need that right now. Since this is it. This is the fucking whole drone, besides the VTX, which is already mounted to the roof. That's not going nowhere. That's gonna sit like that. The only other thing I gotta do is I gotta mount my GoPro to this on a block, but then my battery's gonna sit back here with a strap, 2 straps probably, one here, one here. If I can squeeze it by my VTX, which I should be able to. Should have thought of that actually, because the battery strap needs to sit right here somewhere. So VTX needs to get the fuck out of the way a little bit. So that strap's gonna go right here. I should probably cut the zip tie and then use the strap first, and then squeeze the zip tie down on that strap. That's probably what I should do. Because I don't want a bunch of pressure being put on the VTX from the battery possibly being ejected. But here's what it'll look like when it's done. Just crimp the wiring. Jesus, you guys are killing me. Because you're trying to get me to fuck my shit up. I'm just gonna spin all this shit up. Turn it all up in a nice little fucking rat's nest of a ball. There, I cleaned up all that mess. Okay, I gotta hide this wire. This wire's way too long. I should have made it shorter. Really doesn't matter right here though. But I'm gonna try and just stuff this under this board or something. I'll just fucking put it all somewhere. Stuff it in there. Get in there. Little rat. That's the telemetry. Okay, let's mount the camera, I guess. Since I'm sitting here fucking spinning my ass, wasting your guys' time, wasting my time, I'll quit wasting your time. So, I don't know what to do about this yet. I might just fucking do what I said, hot glue this in, see if that fixes the problem. The other option is I could cut this piece of carbon fiber out so that the camera would sit flush on this plate. But I don't know if that would solve my problem at all. because right now the camera will not sit flush. The problem is the screws won't have enough reach with this out without this sitting flush. So I don't know. I'm up for advice. I could just hot glue it. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think I should do. I'll do it. I'll still side screw it into this lower plate. I suppose I should see what that looks like before I do anything else. Where is the screws? Hot glue. Hot gluing it. Looks like we're going to hot glue it then. Fuck it. There's a fucking mosquito right here. Oh, I got him! Oh, he's still alive. Ow, I rolled over my toe. Ha-ha! See there? Victory! Ah, I fucking rolled over my toe with the chair. It does good with vibration too. It's good to know. Yeah, these are the screws for this. Fucking my toe hurts now. Son of a bitch. What size is this fucking thing? Is this 2mm? Where is this? Is this bigger? What is this? No. It's on this side. Where is my speed handle? Fucking kid run off with it or what? Man, I hope the kid didn't run off with it. I had so much shit on my desk, I don't know if I can find it. Where are you? Damn it. These little bastards ran off with my speed handle. Fuck. Where did it go? Oh, woo, this fell over. Shit. Damn it. I fucking beat my children. Oh, never mind, it's right here. Fuck. Here I am ready to beat my kids. It's right in front of my face. Poor guys. They'd both be like, we didn't touch it. I'd be like, you're lying. Fucking beating the shit out of them. Oh, man. Good old times right there. That. Set this where I want it, I guess. Plug that in. Let that sit like that. Maybe I'll just let it sit, Chris. It might be alright. Or I'll try it. Once I get it together, I can hot glue it too. So, pop this other back side plate in here. So the frames are all cut with slots that this shit sits in, but this frame specifically is made this way. It's actually pretty tight. I might just leave it like that. That might work for me. I didn't think it was going to be that tight in there, but it's actually pretty tight. Yeah, that's actually pretty tight. Okay. Well, that's done. How's that look? Does that look all right? no major snafus. The only thing that's kind of fucked up looking is these two wires sitting right here, but those are gonna be just chilling. Those are from the VTX anyway, so if I burn up the VTX, it's the cheapest thing. I should probably roll these over though, so they don't touch the circuit board. So we'll roll those back that way, like that. Plug that in. I could even do like some form of mini zip tie or something right here, just to zip tie all this back together, like this. Maybe do something like that, just to keep these all from touching anything. This little wire bundle. Maybe we'll do that. Just take this real quick, cinch this fucker down. High as a kite, Mac. High as a kite. Fucking liquid electrical tape all day. Alright, cinch that down. That's whatever. There. Now that won't go anywhere. Those won't touch anything they're not supposed to and blow anything up. Plug that in, we're golden. So I just said it wouldn't touch anything, and then I look at it and it's touching shit. You know, weave it into this shit. Okay. Now I still need to bind this, so I should be able to do it without doing it. But before I put the lid on, I got to do the antennas. So let's do that next. I'm going to grab a piece of just the 1/8 inch. This should be plenty big enough. Yeah. We're going to cut a piece that's almost that long. This is pretty cool. I'm telling you, you guys are going to like this. I saw Mr. Steele do this, so that's where I stole it from. It's a good idea. So sometimes these dudes that have been doing it forever, they have good ideas. Alright, so one straw gave me 2 pieces. Put this cap on the upper one. I got a feeling that's the one that's going to be the most problematic. Okay, I need to do what he said though, because he recommended that I don't run it up the end like that, but I actually cut a port in this thing. So just cut a little hole in the straw and feed the antenna through the hole. Because if you don't, it'll smash off on a bad crash. So I'm going to try that right now. Try not to cut my fucking finger off again. You guys know what that shit is. So Chris, I tried some. I bought some blades from a company just to try them, and they're pretty crazy looking blades. So the guy, the vendor on Amazon, then emails me. He's like, "Hey, can we get you to do a review for these blades you bought?" I said, "Well, I haven't tried them yet, but I plan to, and I plan to do a video review." I said, "Is there, you guys can just take it and use it?" He's like, "I don't give a shit." And he's like, "Whoa, chop my fucking finger off right now, Chris." But anyway, he's like, "Hey," he's like, "I want you to do a review on this too, then." I said, "On what?" And he sends it to me. It's like a multi-battery. I'll show you. It's this thing. He sends me a video, or he sends me a link to that. He's like, "Hey, I want you to do a review on that thing too." And this is a balanced charger board. That's what that is. My camera not focused. And I'm like, huh. I'm like, that's not something normally I would use because I would individually charge my batteries. I don't like to, because there's a lot of risk. When you're charging LiPos, you could fucking burn your house down. So I don't like fucking around with those. You'll see when I show you right now. When I charge my batteries, Chris, I fucking use ammo cans. So the batteries go in the ammo can with the charger. If the fucking battery blows up, it's gonna burn up an ammo can. And good luck with that, right? So that's why I'm like, I don't know if I want to do the balance board because, yeah, that's scary. But anyway, he sent it to me for free. He's like, "Hey, I'm just gonna send it to you. Try it out. Tell me if you like it, or do a review on it." So I tried it today. It actually works pretty good. So each port has an inline 20 amp fuse, which is kind of cool. The car one. So, but it fucking worked. So I give him a good review. It worked fine. I didn't have any issues with it at all. So I'm probably gonna have more trouble trying to chop a hole in this little ass antenna and cut my finger than I am anything else. I have 150 can and like one that I think the other one's like a 9mm can. I don't know, but I mean, the batteries are only fucking, they're not huge. But I got a couple recommendations for products for him. Is that he needs to make these extensions, because when you have these extensions, you don't have to put the charger in the can with the battery. You can just leave the charger on top and then plug the battery in. Because the battery is the only thing that's going to blow up. So they should make more products like this that you can extend, because I need them for like the XT30. I need them for this. I need them for that. So it's just another product line that shit that they already have that they can just sell. So, but then, like I said, my charger doesn't have to go in the can, so I don't have to risk my charger also if the battery does blow up. Because right now my charger is going to burn up with the battery. So I'm going to recommend that to him. Just give him some ideas, some other shit. Fuck it. They gave me a free thing. It's the least I can do. But I will do a good review for that because it didn't burn my house down. So I didn't have any problems with it. Alright, well, I got the first hole cut out. Pain in the ass, but I got it. So now I'm going to, I should probably feed this through into the antenna. And then I'm going to heat shrink this bitch onto this terminal. So the antenna is going into the tube. Fuck, man, I burned my finger good. Son of a bitch. Fucking hurts. Okay. That's pretty fucking tight already. Jesus. I didn't think it was gonna be that tight. Okay, that's it's already fucking tight. Well, you know what I should have done? Fuck. I fucked up. I should have stretched this out before I did that. I'll show you what I mean. I saw this trick too. Take it, you put a pair of needle nose in it, and you stretch it out. So it's easier to work with this shit. It's going to shrink down anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter if you stretch it out a little bit. Okay. Let's Try this again. Much easier to deal with this time, stretched out, so. Let's just feed this all the way through. Been watching a couple cool shows. One of them's called Deception. It's about a dude that's like a fucking magician or whatever. Master illusionist, I guess is what he calls himself. It's actually pretty good. If you guys are looking for a show, that's a pretty good show. And then the other thing that I've been watching is Counterpart. It's another good show. It's a really good show, actually. And then that's it. Just a couple good shows lately. But now that I got the heat shrink on, I'm going to melt this shit real quick so that this antenna is tight, and then I will bend this antenna down. Seal this bad boy up real quick. Now I just want to bend. There we go. Nice subtle bend on that. Good. One down, one to go. And there we go. Nice subtle bend. Now we're going to do the bottom. So I just got to chop this again, and I'm going to do the same exact thing as that, but on the bottom on this other one. So I still have to bind the radio to my radio. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So let's get this other tube chopped out. I'm just going to try and just chop a fucking hole like a fucking lumberjack, like a Machiavelli up in this bitch. There, it was way easier. Cutting it like a fucking tree. Mac, you were the inspiration to life. Look at you. That was way easier. So I'm going to bring this closer, feed this all the way in as best as I can. Stretch this out a little bit actually. This should go a little easier. Okay, this shit goes on, this goes in. Okay, that's on there. Now let's heat her up. Okay, and there you have it. Just different directions. If I have any issues with that too, I can come back and I can hit it with a little bit bigger shrink tube. So I got some crazier shit. That shit's like gnarly. So if I have any issues with that, I'll just come back and hit it with this bigger shit, and it'll never come off when I hit it with that bigger shit. This shit's a little bit thinner, the stuff I used, but it should still work. I don't think I'll have a problem with it, but you never know, right? So from here, we're going to mount the lid. The lid should sit in pretty much like that, and we're almost done. We've almost completed this build. So, good times. Then just the build part will be done. We still have a lot of other shit I gotta do. Like configure it, just to figure out if I'm gonna even use Betaflight, if I'm gonna use Butterfly. I don't know. It's all stuff for another day though. So, but at this point, we're gonna wrap up this build. I suppose I should plug in the VTX before I screw all this shit in, huh? See if I can even plug it in still. Should be able to. I might have to undo it and just plug it in and then put it back on. Let's see. See how ambidextrous my fingers are here, boys. Okay. Okay. Alright, I got it in. I think it's in. Alright. Whatever. It's kind of in. Okay, now let's get back to screwing the lid on. These speed handles are fucking amazing, man. In before stitches. It's true. Thankfully, I haven't hurt myself besides burning myself with my soldering. Oh, speaking of which, I could probably turn that off since I left it on. Thank you for reminding me that I left my soldering iron on, Chris. I was about to say I burned myself with my soldering iron, and that reminded me to turn it off. The shitty part is I bought this Elgato capture card because I wanted to capture from flying in the field. But the fucked up part of it is that it has to be a USB 3.0, and my laptop does not currently possess a USB 3.0. So I'm kind of up shit creek without a paddle. So I got this really bitchin' capture card to capture flying for you guys, and I can't even do it. So I'm just gonna sit on it and wait. And that's when I'm not flying at home. When I'm flying at home, obviously I can stream from 100 other things. I could stream from my other computer. I could stream from just the laptop recording the video. So, but here it is. This is the Martian, the real AC Martian, in its current completed state. So I think the only other thing I'm going to do is I'm probably going to put electrical tape on here to clean this up so you don't have to look at this ugliness. I'll probably do that. I wish I could just fucking heat shrink it, but I might be able to actually. Let's see. I might be able to just go right over the top of this. In fact, I might have to stretch this out a little bit, but let's just heat shrink it. Fuck it. I got this piece sitting here I'm not going to use, so. Let's just go right over the top. This will be a lot cleaner than the electrical tape. I've already liquid electrical taped it, so I don't have to worry about the connections. They're good. They're covered. So I'm just going to stretch this out a little bit more. There we go. That fucking stretched. And I'll heat shrink this down onto the wires, and it should be golden. It'll look a lot better than what it fucking currently looks like. It looks like dog shit currently. Okay, already got our heat gun plugged in. This fucking thing is no joke, dude. This shit glows hot as fuck. Like, it blows super fucking hot. But anyway, there. I think that looks fucking 100 times better than leaving it all shitty nasty looking, so now I can manipulate the tape a little bit too, or this heat shrink when it's still hot. But just kind of squeeze it. Ow, ow, it's fucking hot. But anyway, that looks better. Whole thing's liquid electrical taped and now heat shrunk, so I don't know, looks better to me. This on this motherfucker is getting a pounding back here. I might have to use the thicker shit on this or zip tie it, one or the other, because this thing is getting bent to shit just because it's sitting on it constantly. These little caps are cool. I need another little cap. I got this other two. Steal one off it. I wonder if I got green props for this. I don't think I do. Oh, finger. There we go. Look, matching caps. Huh? Sweet. Alright, so the next thing I gotta do is I gotta get a block. A block that would mount here. And then my GoPro would sit on this block that I gotta get. But, I mean, like the rest of this shit, this is all extra. Got all kinds of extra shit. I need to start like a fucking drawer for this stuff. This is the run. Maybe I'll just put it in this box, this armored in a box, and put it in a drawer. Probably a good idea. That way I know what it is. Empty out one of these boxes. I mean, we did get these cool little cases for the motors. The motors come in these cool little cases. So I'm just going to put all my extra parts that I have so far for this build. Then I'll probably just label it fucking Martian. It's a mongoloided fucking plug, but I'll label this Martian. This will go in a drawer. And I'll have my extra parts drawer, you know, always under me. Stick that in there. But I have my fucking extra parts. And I know what drone it's for. You know, I could use them for any, but just so that I know which. Oh, almost forgot. Put on my really bitchin' little foamies. I think if you heat these up, they stick better. So I'm going to try that right now. I will let you know if that is the truth or not. Is that one? Some bitch is hot. Does not feel good on the finger that I burnt. I'll tell you that right now. That shit does not feel good. It's 3 and the last. Numero quattro. Alright, there's 4. So, now we have our nice little foam landing pads that I can bounce on. Alright, well, what do you guys think? We did it. We've accomplished it. I just have to do some stuff to it. I gotta bind it to my radio. I gotta then work on configuring it. I gotta put the blades on, take it for a little flight. Oh, it's clean. It's fucking brand new, man. You're right, though. You're right. See, this one's gonna get bent out, so I'm gonna probably use the thicker shit on this one. I see that happening in the future. Either I fucking just have to electrical tape it, but I'll probably just use the thicker one. Piece of, because I got, like I said, I got this crazy thick shit here somewhere. This shit. In the actual electrical supply store, it's got some crazy ass thick shit in here. So the thickness on the actual heat shrink is pretty impressive. Like, I'd probably use this one, but I mean it's actually decently thick when you look at it, unlike the thin shit that they sell at Home Depot, which is this crap, which is what I used. I should have used. Hey, look at how thin. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Focus. Look at how thin this shit is compared to that other stuff. Like, it's night and day. It's like half the size. This other shit's thick as hell. So I'll probably come back later and redo it with the thick stuff, because I know that fuck it's never gonna come off. But here's what we got, boys. So I'll probably kill it since it's midnight from here. I'll kill the stream. Tomorrow I'll probably fire up tomorrow for a little while, and I'll start to configure this live for you guys to watch. Just kind of do a whole shebang deal. And oh, look, Chris, what I got. From Amazon, as you told me. I gotta let this guy know that this power board, wherever the hell it went, I seem to have lost it already. It worked. So, oh, this thing. This balance board. If you guys need a balance board, I'm gonna recommend this one. But this, I gotta let him know that this worked good. But I just have the suggestion of creating the longer lead lines so that I don't have to balance charge next to my charger. So that's the only feedback I have for them. And I'm gonna wrap this up, but there it is, the Martian. Now you're proud of me. I'm proud of myself. We did it. Go team. So anyway, tune in tomorrow. I'm gonna fire this up again. We will configure this thing, and then I'll actually fly it outside. Scary, I know, it's a scary thought, but I'll cruise this up and down the street for a couple times just to get it not tuned or anything, but just to get it so that I know that it flies. And then I'll have to charge some of my 4S batteries because I have none charged. But then I'll just work on getting all this stuff put together. How am I going to run this? I'm going to figure that out too. Probably like that. Maybe this way? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to put the fucking battery on here. Maybe I should have made that lead a little bit longer. It's not a big deal. I just have to figure out how the fuck I'm gonna do that. Do something like that. So I gotta balance it. So that might sit like that. Watch it go. Did I ever get those to fit the out? No, because I never made the adapter. And I've crashed the fuck out of this thing, dude. This thing is a champ right here. Like, I started taking pieces off this carbon fiber frame, and fuck, dude. I mean, this thing is a warrior. Look at the corner right here, dude. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Let me see. Focus, focus. Keep the focus. Keep the focus. Focus. Look at that. I mean, you can see this thing's gotten pretty chewed up. I've busted a couple of these standoffs. I ordered 2 sets though when I got it, and the second set I got was aluminum. The first set I got was plastic. So the second set was better than the first, but this little thing is a warrior, dude. I have crashed the fuck out of this thing. This thing is pretty cool. If you want one to fly around the house, this is the one to get because you can't damage anything at your house. So this one's the one I highly recommend that anyone wants to fly, get into. Get into this guy. Oh man, there's loose screws on this thing. Look at this shit. Shit's gonna fall apart, Chris. I better fucking Loctite these screws in. But oh my god, I'm missing screws. Look, there's a screw missing right there. Where the hell did that go? Where'd my spare shit go from this build? I need a screw. That's funny. Okay, so buy extras. Like I said, Chris, always buy extras. Because you fucking never know when you're going to lose shit. That one snap off in there? Maybe it snapped off. Oh, it did snap off. That was one of them plastic fuckers. Alright, well. I gotta take that off. Fix it. But the owl, man. Oh, the kids would be better with the whoop, but you should get an owl. You can fly this thing around the house. I've crashed it on the roof. Had to go get on the roof and get it off. It's pretty awesome. So it's a lot of fun. Surprisingly, this thing's actually pretty well balanced. No, it's a little tail heavy. But I don't even have the straps on for this shit or anything, so I gotta figure this out. I probably should have made the lead a little bit longer to compensate for these short ass battery leads. So that's one thing I probably should have done. It's made it about that long. But I figured it would be long enough at this point, but maybe I need to just flip the battery over this way. That might be better. Got some shit to figure out. Or order batteries with a longer fucking lead. That's the other option. So yeah, you can't go wrong with the whoop. The whoop's fun. The problem with the whoop is it's brushed motors, so you have to change the motors out every 6 hours. So, but I mean, that's whatever. It's just changing the motor out. Damn, all these fucking things are loose. This fucking owl stinks like juniper bush because I keep crashing it into that juniper bush out front. Just gotta come through and check these standoffs. See if any of them are loose. These plastic ones are not holding up well though. So my only advice to Flex RC on that is to get rid of these plastic ones and just use fucking milled aluminum. Because they hold up 10 times better than this plastic shit does. I think these are injection molded or something. I don't know what the hell these are, but they're not very good. Screws keep vibrating out of them. And get a set of these speed handles. These speed handles are amazing. Just look at how nasty this thing is, dude. Look at the blades. The blades are clear. They look like fucking grass and shit all over them. And oh, these things are awesome. So, what is this motor? It's I don't even know. But anyway, they have some kind of ready to run kit for the Whoop. Yes, when you order the Whoop, you'll get it. It's ready to rock. You just have to bind it to your radio, but that's easy cheesy. There's fucking a million YouTube videos on how to do it. Look at the antenna. Dude, I've mangled the antenna on this thing. There's 100 videos on how to do that, so I feel pretty good. I can add the Martian to my wall now. I don't know where yet, though. I just have to put it up here where this furious AC. This guy is. There we go. Look at that. The wall is growing, Chris. The wall is growing. You like that? Did I ever tell you about that? Did I tell you the story about where I got that? I don't think I ever did. This is a MiG-9 access panel from an Iraqi MiG-9. I took it off, and it's a part of the Iraqi unit's logo. It had the logo painted on it. I actually have the picture with the plates to lin it, with the whole logo on it. So, as you can see, it's all in Russian. If you read it, I think it says, that says access panel in Russian. So, but took this off an Iraqi MiG-9 in Iraq. It's pretty cool. Little war memento. Little war memento. But the wall of planes is growing over here. So if you ever want me to build you one, just let me know, because I like building them. I'll live stream it, build it for you. For my good friend Chris, I'll do it for free. Because it's just something fun to do. If I blow it up, Chris, then I'll repay. So, but let's see, what do I got here? Face. But at this point, fuck, it's midnight. I'm over it. I haven't even checked my computer. I'm gonna go do it. So I'm gonna wrap up the stream for now, though. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll build some more shit soon. Well, I'm gonna configure tomorrow anyway, so you can watch me configure that shit. And then rip it. I'm gonna rip it in the front yard, sitting from right here. So anyway, I'm going to Colorado. Chris, you prick. Shut up. And I am out of here. Deuces.